Hi there, everybody. It's Yo-Yo Meep, and I'm actually going to be doing a Worlds review of each of the pick ban phases, starting today, day 1, October 1st. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. So the first game is Fnatic versus IG, and Fnatic elects to pick Elise first pick. Elise is a very strong jungler right now. She's a good solid first pick, and you want to pick a jungler to not give us that much away from your strategy. Elise, as a jungler, uh, kind of prevents a wombo combo comp, but that's about it. Otherwise, she's just a very strong jungler. She can go tanky, she can go damage, she can do pretty much anything. An excellent first pick. Invictus Gaming responds by picking Thresh and Skarner. So already you're seeing a lot of pick potential from Invictus Gaming. The Thresh with the hook, the Skarner with his ult, but in that you see a problem. It's really, really difficult for Skarner to get in on ranged champions like that, especially ranged champions with movement speed buffs, as we see in the next pick, Sivir. Fnatic then picks Sivir and Shen, and when they pick Sivir, it's like, okay, well, what's Skarner going to do? Skarner's going to run at their team? Great. Sivir ults, team gets away. It's extremely difficult for Skarner to get in on a Sivir. And furthermore, when they start picking the rest of their champions, you can see that there's no easy way for Skarner to actually start and create the fights and the picks that are necessary. They Invictus Gaming tries to supplement that with Ashe to create more pick potential, but Ashe arrows can only do so much. Trying to Ashe arrow an Elise, a Shen, a Hecarim won't net you that much. Trying to Ashe arrow a Sivir will spell shield it. The only viable target is really the Azir, which comes with cleanse. Um, the so Fnatic's pick ban phase is really tailor made to counter the semi team fight pick potential that IG is running, and it's tailor made to counter it with move speed and targets that are incapable of actually being picked. Next, we have Cloud9 versus AHQ Esports Club. Cloud9 goes for the first pick of Gangplank. Gangplank's a really strong champion right now. His barrels have the potential to one-shot the earth. Now, the rest of the pick ban phase, HQ picks Braum Callista. Braum Callista is just a very strong, solid lane. Braum being what some consider an OP support right now. He does a little bit of everything, very strong. Callista's excellent utility, maybe not as much late game damage, but just very strong in general. C9 responds by picking Lee Sin and Morgana, and then picks Tristana and Veigar. Now, Veigar got a recent buff in patch, I think it was 5.18. It might have been a patch earlier. But either way, Veigar now gets AP stacks from his passive on assist, and his meteor animation was slightly changed to be more responsive and effective. So Veigar is a very, very strong pick right now, and he can take teleport, which is very interesting. Not too many mid laners can do that. He can take teleport because he doesn't need the safety or the dueling potential that either Ignite or Barrier, Heal, any of those other summoners would bring. He can create global pressure, and if put against Callista, he has a target click damaging spell that will almost one-shot her. If any other damage is layered on top of her, like auto attacks from a ridiculously long-range champion, Tristana, Callista will just melt, just turn to dust. HQ tries to counter this composition with Rengar and Fizz. Fizz is actually a pretty decent counter pick to Veigar if Fizz can get the all-in and start snowballing. But that leaves AHQ with no wave clear, and if they start getting picked off and get behind, then they're just going to straight up lose when they can't win engages. So next we have SKT versus H2K. SKT first picks Lee, strong champion, we've been over this. H2K responds by picking Gnar and Gragas, vanilla champions, actually not vanilla, orange creamsicle colored. SKT goes brave and then picks Fiora. She knows what she's being picked into, but Fiora pretty much relegates the jungler and the support and the mid laner, possibly the AD carry, to being so all other roles to being most of the CC for the team. You're not getting any CC out of Fiora. You're getting a split pusher. You're getting a damage dealer. You're getting a duelist. Um, the rest of the draft for SKT is very strong late game wise, in that if they get to late game, they're going to crush it because they have too many threats to deal with in Azir Tristana. And H2K went for an interesting, a bit slightly vanilla comp where they're trying to divide and conquer. They're trying to separate the team. They're trying to separate the team fight with Gragas, Gnar, Braum, and then they're trying to pick off individual targets with LeBlanc and the Sivir move speed. They just collapse on certain sections of the fight with Sivir move speed. It's a vanilla comp, an orange creamsicle of a comp. It's okay. But the comp SKT is running is pretty effective against it in that it's too long range for H2K to get in on without some primary engage, which they don't have in the form because they have a top laner that isn't considered primary engage; it's considered secondary engage. Next, we have Edward Gaming versus Bangkok Titans. Edward Gaming first picks the Gangplank, again, strong champion. They go for the Skarner this time, including the Thresh for the pick potential. They then pick up Jinx and Darius, which is interesting because that creates a full AD team, which can easily be countered if Bangkok Titans had some time to ramp up on armor items. Bangkok Titans first pick Braum. Braum is again strong first pick, worthy, great support champion, does everything. They pick a strong front line in the form of Rek'Sai and Maokai. Both can build a ton of armor. And then they pick Vayne and Zed. Now, that to me is a little questionable because Edward Gaming has 3 threats on their team in the form of top, mid, and AD carry, while Bangkok Titans has 2. And Zed's going to have difficulty zeroing out even one target just because of the way Zed is now, where exhaust is fairly prevalent, where CC is prevalent, and he's going to have a really hard time getting to his targets without flanks. So I just think Zed here wasn't the best choice. Furthermore, they don't have any wave clear if EDG gets ahead. And the team comp from Bangkok Titans could really just come crashing down around their ears if they don't get an early snowball. So here I'm not actually going to go into the order of picks and bans because we're picking, fairly overpowered picks first and second. You see what's going on. But instead I'm going to talk about the difference between primary engage and secondary engage, as well as linear engage versus non-linear engage. So CLG has a composition that's fairly centered around around Jinx. And Jinx is going to be getting all the buffs from Lulu, while Lulu tries to deal damage. Darius takes away the focus from Jinx, and everyone else just kind of protects her. Flashwolves are running a comp with some linear engage, some non-linear engage, and some secondary engage. The linear engage comes from Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai goes in a straight line and pops up, and that's his engage. Echo uses parallel convergence into phase dive to try and catch people out in sort of a non-linear engage, but it's difficult for him to actually catch people out because parallel convergence is such a slow starting ability. Gnar is secondary engage in that you can see him coming, and you can dodge his abilities. Furthermore, he's very time dependent. His engage is conditional. He can't really effectively engage while in Mini-Gnar form. He has to engage in Mega-Gnar form. And all the while, Jinx is just going to be pounding down on his team. So they don't have any primary engage like a Maokai, like something like a Malphite, a Hecarim, something that just goes in and you just get on the Jinx. There's not very much of that, and that's kind of an issue when the composition that CLG is running is built around protecting the Jinx. Something like a Gragas may have been a little bit better because Gragas can single out specific targets and you can all turn your attention to and engage on that specific target. So last and quite possibly least, we have Pain Gaming versus the Koo Tigers. Pain Gaming is going for a fairly vanilla comp, not the Orange Creamsicle comp, but it's fairly standard. Decent late game, decent engage, they have strong laners. The Elise first pick, the Alistair, the Darius who's considered OP right now, Sivir to move speed buff the team, and Azir for late game insurance. Fairly standard, a decent composition. Koo Tigers is actually going with a variant on the composition that IG tried to run against Fnatic, and Koo Tigers actually has a far better team comp in that they have range pick potential in the form of Ahri and Gnar, where the composition from Invictus Gaming didn't have that. They just had champions that would try and run at you after the Ash Arrow picked you. The Koo Tigers' team comp is much more effective at the pick game, and is overall just a very solid composition with strong lanes. I don't have too much more to say about it. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my video again. I'm gonna try doing one of these for each day of Worlds. We'll see if I actually do it. I have faith age. I can do it for the West. If there's any game you want me to expand on, I'm gonna leave a straw poll in the comments below. Please respond on that, and I'll try and get something out there. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.